Disclaimer, I do not own any rights to any content, videos, research, music, unless it is of my own creation. Everything is for entertainment and commentary purposes. All information is of my own opinion or are alleged until factual evidence has been presented. Cue the music. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of All Things CC. Here is my take. It has been a minute since I put up an episode for y'all. But today, y'all, I got some tea. It's trending topics. We about to get into it. But before I get all up into the tea, I hope everybody had a great Christmas holiday. And I hope everybody's week has been pleasant. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this episode, this content that I'm about to bring you guys, because it is juicy. Okay, juicy. So let's go ahead and get into this discussion board and this credit board so we can go ahead and get into this tea. Okay, so on the discussion board today we have Kevin Hart versus Tasha K, Christian Keys latest update, and Halle Bailey gave birth. What's tea? I'm not going to start this off with Tasha K and Kevin Hart. That's going to be the last topic. I'm going to get into these other little minor topics, but trending topics. And we are going to go ahead and get this discussion going. And I am going to do the credit board so I can give credit to the people of the content that I'm reviewing and what have you. And we're going to get started. On the credit board today, we have BET.com. And of course, we have Unwind with Tasha K. Let's get started. Okay, so like I said, I want to get started with the smaller topics, which is Christian Keys, and then followed by Halle Bailey. And then I'm going to do the Kevin Hart, Tasha K last, because it is just massive. It's a lot going on with that situation, so I want to give it its own moment. So on my last video that I did, it was regarding Christian Keys, who publicly came out on social media and brought up, sexual assault allegations that happened to him, like it jump started his career from a prominent, wealthy individual. Everybody is speculating that it was Tyler Perry, and then some people was like, well, it can't be Tyler Perry because he is working with him on All the Queen's Men, and so on and so forth. Christian Keys said there was a guy who was a billionaire and he has a very distinctive voice who we looked up to as a hero. Well, not me, because I don't be all up on these entertainers and celebrities like that. I give two rats ass. However, a lot of people clearly respect this individual, whomever he is. He has clearly he still have not said no names, y'all. I'ma just say it. He still ain't said no damn names, y'all. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand how long it takes to go to a police station, because the last time on his little, rant or whatever, he said he was going to the police station and blase split and all that. It has been some time now. And I know that with this type of information, especially coming from a male, he wants to make sure that he got his ducks in a row. He wants to make sure that he's covered and protected on all fronts. I get that. But the longer that you wait, the more that people are not going to give a fuck. They're not going to give a fuck. And I hate to say that, because I like Christian Keys. I love the work that he does. He's a great actor. He's a great singer. But you're losing your momentum each day that goes by when you don't keep the public updated on what's going on. You already done let the cat out the bag. So now it's just time to just clean it all up. because you should have all your ducks in a row before you decide to get on live and spill your tea. So I'm gonna post the one of the I believe this is the last thing that he posted, and I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna come back with some additional thoughts. Some of these negative and ignorant comments are the exact reason that men, exactly black men, don't talk about this kind of stuff. I pray that the people making the comments never have to experience anything like this. And y'all have said his name in the comments, which is crazy, because that's how many people know what's going on, trying to find the strength to finish this race. Okay, so when he said, and y'all have said his name in the comments, which is crazy, why do you want us to say his name? You say his name. This is not our problem. This is your problem. You're afraid to say this man's name. That's what that is. You're afraid to say his name. And you have your fans out here speculating, fucking having a Blue's Clues type of moment, and you are not saying the person's name. I don't understand that. I really feel like that there is some level of uncertainty. Yeah, he can say that he's tired all he wants. Yeah, he can say it's time to get this off his chest, off his heart. He can say all of that. But he is low-key scared, I feel. Because if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired of waking up in night sweats and, have control over your life like this, if you really, really sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will go on ahead and you will talk about it. You will go ahead and expose the person who violated you as a grown man. I don't understand what the wait is for. But anywho, so that was the latest that I've seen that he posted about. Also, he liked a post that someone made in regards to who they didn't think it was Tyler Perry and all this other stuff, and he ended up liking that post. Now, are you liking the post because you're agreeing with the person who said that they didn't think it was Tyler Perry, or all the other stuff in that post? See, it's a lot of fucking pieces that needs to be put together, and he's the only one that can do that. So for me, until he is ready to verbally come out and just say everything that needs to be said, I don't think that I'm going to report on this any further until I feel like there is some more entertaining news or more important news that he brings up. So now that I'm done with that, let's go ahead and get into Miss Halle Bailey. Okay, everybody, so you know that Christmas just passed and everything like that. And if you guys have not noticed that Halle only been to maybe one or two of the promotion of the color purple. After that, she has not been seen anymore. A lot of people are speculating that she ended up giving birth before Christmas. And the gifts that DDG had bought her, everybody's saying that those was her push gifts. Very lavish, expensive bracelet and a Birkin bag. So it is going around that Halle did indeed give birth because of the way that she got up from out of the chair when her and DDG were making Christmas cookies, as well as how her breasts look. It looks like it's very filled with milk. Okay, now if you really paid attention to Halle, her chest used to be smaller, a lot smaller than what it is now. So that was a dead giveaway that she was with child, because her breasts got bigger and fuller. And the way that they were looking inside of her clothing, you could tell that she just gave birth. There was a clip that has been surfing around about people hearing the baby in the background and DDG saying cut, cut, cut as to everybody stop recording because the baby's crying. Also, there is clips of a baby bouncer and what could be a baby car seat. There was also a point in the video, because this took place on Christmas. There was a point in the video where I think it was either DDG's mom or his brother's girlfriend, I think her name's Brittany, was like, everybody stop recording because we have one gift for DDG and Halle. That's a dead giveaway, because why is everybody else recording, everybody else opening up their gifts and stuff, and when it comes to this one specific gift, everybody has to shut down their recording? That's a dead giveaway. Baby girl had that baby, and I think it's a girl. I really think it's a girl. It's just, I think it's a girl. A lot of people are speculating that too. The fact that she is willing to be more open in front of the camera now without covering up her stomach, which she has been doing for months, is another dead giveaway that she was with child and she had that baby. Absolutely. All I can say is congratulations to Halle and DDG. I know that baby is beautiful, and one day I would like to know what the baby name is, and one day I would like to see a photo of the baby. But because of how social media is and people are, she's gonna have to protect that baby at all costs, because y'all was gunning for her so bad about her uterus. It was ridiculous. So I'm not gonna be surprised if she never posts anything about their baby, because honestly, y'all don't deserve to know. Y'all talk bad about the baby daddy. Y'all convincing her to break up with him, and he's not this, he's not that. Like, it's just all these negative things, instead of just simply being happy that she's happy. So it's gonna be a nice little man before we even get a name and before we even get a picture of a toenail, okay? Because she's definitely taking a page out of Beyonce's book. Just keep quiet. Let people speculate. Let people say what they want to say. You know, you don't have to come out every time somebody say this is what's going on with you. You don't have to say yay or nay. Just keep quiet. And that's what she's done, and that's what she's doing. So congratulations to them too. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm ready to talk about the big T. So we about to get into it. Okay, we got Kevin Hart versus Tasha K. Y'all, the shit has hit the fan once again for Miss Tasha K. At this point, I really think that she feels like she doesn't have shit to lose, considering the fact that she still owes Cardi and she has filed bankruptcy. I feel like she really just don't give a fuck. So if you don't know what's going on right now, Tasha K did an interview with Kevin Hart's ex-personal assistant. The assistant went on her show to talk about the ins and outs of what went on for Kevin Hart, his personal life, and his business life. This assistant signed a confidential agreement. That was the first thing she signed. Upon her, I guess, her departing, she had to sign an NDA. Now, the NDA includes the same things in the confidential agreement, if not more. Okay? The confidential agreement does not expire. Does not expire. The confidential agreement pretty much said indefinite, which means she cannot speak, allude, pretend. She can't do any of those things if it's directly talking about Kevin Hart and what he has going on. As a personal assistant, you know the ins and outs of this man's entire life. Now, I know a lot of people like, well, what does that got to do with Tasha? Well, I am going to be posting, snippets here and there. And I'm going to read an article from BET. But because Tasha K was made privy to the non-disclosure agreement, that this assistant basically confessed, yeah, I am under an NDA, but claimed she found a loophole. Now, did Tasha K do her own research to review the NDA to see if there was something that could have been a loophole, or did she just take this woman's word for it? Because if I was Tasha and I just went through this long battle of going to trial and stuff about defaming somebody's character that has status, an entertainer, I would tread lightly. I would absolutely tread lightly. Because just because you filed bankruptcy and you so-called don't got the money, your reputation precedes any money. Nobody in the industry is going to want to fuck with you. And you're going to continue to get these lawsuits held against you. Sometimes it's all about taking the higher road, the higher route. When she told you that she was bounded by NDA, Tasha, you should have said, we cannot do this interview until that non-disclosure agreement is lifted. If it's not indefinite, like the confidential agreement. Tasha K, my goodness, girl. Yeah, you're the most popular YouTuber. Yes, you know how to get the interviews. But some interviews you just don't need. You do not have to put yourself out there every time it's a juicy motherfucking story. Because it's really showing how loyal are you and how respectful are you to people's privacy. It seems like you don't give a fuck about nobody's privacy. Because you probably don't give a fuck about your own privacy. That's not a good quote unquote journalist. That's not a good reporter. You can't be going around just doing shit. Because what it looks like is an accessory to a situation, right? This woman done breached the contract, breached the agreement. And here it is, you playing follow the leader, knowing that she told you that she's bound by such agreement. And you still went ahead to get stories to incriminate such and such. Now, here is where the issue is. Because I got a few questions. Number one, why would said assistant run to Tasha K first before any other major blogs? What does said assistant have to gain by going to Tasha K to tell this information? Why do said assistant feel like the public needs to know what's going on with Kevin Hart? We already knew that he cheated on his wife when she was pregnant with the first baby in Blase Split. We knew about the car accident situation. We heard about the extortion and everything like that with his friend and all that stuff. We heard about all that stuff. So what exactly was it that the public just so in a dire need to know? I don't understand. Now I'm hoping that the loophole is not, the non-disclosure is not backed by if it's considered something criminal. Was it something criminal? Now, granted, That little car accident may be of a criminal stature. I don't know. But everything else in that agreement, she could be held accountable for. I don't care how you slice and dice it. You purposely sign off on a confidential agreement, which is in the complaint of the pleading. I didn't care to go and find the full document, the full pleading, but I did see that there is a few exhibits. There's an exhibit of the confidential agreement. There's an exhibit of the NDA agreement, and there is an exhibit of the cease and desist that was sent to Tasha K. And everybody's like, well, why is he just coming after Tasha K? He ain't just coming after Tasha K. He's coming at the assistant as well. Now, granted, now get this. Somehow, somebody who is claiming to be a part of Tasha K's crew contacted Kevin Hart to tell him, in order for us not to run this story because it can incriminate you, we're going to need $250,000. If you don't know what $250,000 is, that's $250,000. So that right there is considered extortion. It's considered blackmail. And in legal, in the lawyer's terms, they could even say ransom. Whoever that person was blackmailed Kevin Hart to try and extort money out of Kevin Hart. Allegedly. This is what they're saying that happened. Now, I'm like, okay, well, let's go with this a little bit longer. Who in their right fucking mind would call somebody with money as long as Kevin Hart to extort for only $250,000? Only $250,000? That seemed like a specific amount of money for a specific reason. Some people say, what if it was Tasha K's husband? Some people say, what if it was the employee of Tasha K? What's her name, Chelsea or something? Some say maybe this is something all done by the assistant who probably got a boyfriend or something. Who knows? They probably trying to play Tasha K too. She probably trying to play Tasha K too. Because I really don't see somebody who was actively working with Tasha K will sit up here and try to bribe somebody out of some money. Just on their own free will. And think that Tasha K is not going to find out about it. Now, could that be why her old employee got fired, let go? I don't know. Or it could be very well possible that that's what the hell Tasha K said. Now, this is what might get Tasha K in even more trouble. She was on live recording. It could have been after the interview or before the interview with said assistant. And the things that came out of her mouth, and I quote, "If you do not pay, we got to get it by any means necessary." Now, that blackmail falls up under that any means necessary. That extortion falls up under that any means necessary. But she's saying all this while she's drinking. How much did you have to drink, Tasha? See, when you drink too much, shit starts slipping out of your mouth that can potentially incriminate you. Now, let's get back to the assistant. At the event that her and Kevin Hart came to an agreement with the non-disclosure agreement, he agreed to pay her $30,000 for 3 years. So that's 30 for 1 year, 30 for 2 years, 30 for 3 years, which equals up to $90,000 just by her signing off on the non-disclosure agreement. That does not mean that the agreement expired when the money expired. That does not mean that. So for everybody that's out there saying, oh, the NDA must have been up, that's why she talking now, the NDA must have been up. No, because when she said, oh, I found the loophole in the NDA, that means at this very moment she was still bounded by that NDA. Because if she wasn't, she wouldn't have no reason to say, oh, I found the loophole. But anywho, I am about to post this article from BET.com. They give a little bit more in-depth detail about what's going on, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary. Okay, so before I get to reading this article, this is the top portion of the actual pleading if anybody wants to go and find it. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles Central District. Kevin Hart, an individual, and K Hart Enterprises, Inc., a California corporation, who is the plaintiff, versus Maisha Shakes, an individual, Latasha Transrena Kibi, an individual, Kibi Studios LLC, a Georgia limited liability company, and those 1 through 20 inclusive defendants. It's a complaint for 5 different things: civil extortion, breach of contract, intentional interference with contractual relations, invasion of privacy, public disclosure of private facts, defamation. Okay, so considering the fact that I work for a law firm or what have you, I know what certain things mean. So like at the end where it says those 1 through 20, I believe that means that they can add additional people to this complaint once they figure out who those individuals are. So once they find out who was behind that phone call, that person will be included in the pleading. It will be an amended complaint, and it's going to add that person in the pleading. And if it's somebody else, they're going to add that person as well. So it's just giving them a little bit of wiggle room to add more people as they learn more about what's going on. So that's the top part of the pleading for the complaint. And like I said, it has 3 different exhibits. So yeah. Okay, but this is what BET says. By Rashad Grove, December 28th, 2023, actually at 9:48 this morning. Kevin Hart has reportedly filed a lawsuit against YouTuber Tasha K and his former assistant for allegedly attempting to extort him for allegations of infidelity, according to People. Filed in the Los Angeles Supreme Court, the complaint stems from an interview between Tasha K, whose government name is Latasha Kibi, and Maisha Shakes, his former personal assistant, from August 2017 to October 2020. In the filing, the suit noted that Kibi has recent and ongoing violations of civil and criminal law, and demanded that she immediately cease and desist all such activity. You have already engaged in criminal conduct and torturous acts that would entitle Mr. Hart to monetarily damages against you should he elect to commence civil litigation regarding this matter. The lawsuit stated, to the extent that you do not cease and desist now, your liability for such monetary damages will increase, as will your exposure to criminal penalties. Released on Unwind with Tasha K, Kibi's YouTube channel, and her Instagram account on December 22nd, the bombshell interview is captioned, "The interview that Kevin Hart will wish never came out," in the conversation. Shakes accuses Hart of having an affair with her at his office. She also claimed that she told Hart's wife Eniko about his infidelity and that he has a serious gambling problem. According to the blast, Hart previously levied a cease and desist letter to Kibi in November and refused to pay an alleged $250,000 payment to prevent the interview from going public, citing that the NDA between Shakes and Hart would constitute intentional interference with contractual relations if the interview was published. Dante Mills, Hart's legal rep explained that an unknown individual claiming affiliation with Tasha's blog reached out to Hart's camp saying that the interview with Shakes will be damaging to Hart's reputation. In addition to violating the NDA, the suit states that Shakes made false and defamatory statements regarding Hart and certain legal disputes in which he had been involved. And other statements during the interview were false, including that Hart recorded a video of a sexual encounter and that he faced criminal charges regarding that supposed incident. The suit also noted that blogger has a long track record of making inflammatory claims against celebrities. Kibi has an established history of posting defamatory and otherwise improper content regarding celebrities, the lawsuit reads. Besides Hart, Kibi has been embroiled in a legal dispute with Cardi B. In 2022, she was ordered to pay Cardi B $4 million in a defamation verdict. Okay, we know this. Eventually, Kibi filed for bankruptcy, claiming in her filings that her assets only totaled out to $58,595, including 2 Louis Vuitton purses, and that she only had $95 in her bank account. I'll call cap, but whatever. So that's what BET has to say. I am about to go ahead and play the small little clip from the interview so that you guys can just get a feel of how the conversation was going. And then I'm going to come back with my final thoughts.
The machine you worked for was the Hart.
Yes.
Kevin Hart.
Eniko Hart.
What made you reach out?
It is a time for Hollywood to hear this story, especially because a lot of people are locked in non-disclosures and they're not able to talk and protect themselves. Mm-hmm. But you have to protect the person you're working for. Where's your protection?
When did things start to turn up around there?
The extortionist. I'm listening to Mario on the radio in the morning. I almost crashed my car because I heard him say that Kevin's best friend, JT Jackson, had set him up.
In exchange for millions of dollars.
All the charges were dropped against JT, but they weren't dropped against Kevin.
They redug up, I guess, old LGBTQ jokes or something.
Correct.
That he was saying on Twitter, and they wanted him to apologize, and he said, fuck you.
Haley is his publicist, so she called me. She was just like, hey, Maisha, have you spoken to Kevin? I was like, no. I was like, Dave Becky just called me, his manager. Why? And then she was like, the whole Oscar thing, Kevin needs to say an apology. He's about to lose Nike.
The first scandal was with the first baby.
Correct.
The one in Vegas.
Yes.
So these other scandals.
It's another one in the office.
She pregnant again.
Correct. With her second baby.
And he's still leaving semen stains all over the couch at the heart.
Okay. So you can clearly see that this assistant is messy as hell. Because why now? What did Kevin Hart do so bad to you that you decided that you were just going to wake up and say, fuck it, I'm going to tell everything? Is it because you wasn't getting paid what you agreed upon? Like, what is your motive of going to Tasha K hoping to get your 15 minutes of fame? Because from what I hear, Tasha K does not pay nobody to do interviews. So how are you being compensated for doing this? Now, this Tasha, sis, you might want to pull back on this. You might want to go on ahead and tuck your tail and just comply. That's what you might want. That's what you might want to need to do. Because I don't think your husband is going to want to go through a whole nother motherfucking trial with your ass. Because you don't know how to be selective in the type of shit that you do to get interviews. Then again, I don't know. Maybe he liked the fuck shit too. Who knows? This is crazy. This is about to get good. It's about to get good and it's about to get deep. Now, what will be even more fucked up is if all this personal stuff that she's saying about his infidelity, his cheating and stuff like that. I mean, we already know that Nico knew about the first one because guess what? She stayed with it. Hell, she probably knew about the other one too. She probably know about all this type of shit. But she ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. She getting the bag. She ain't going nowhere. So, what is the motive? That's the question. What is the motive? And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, Tasha K didn't extort him. Tasha K didn't make the phone call. Tasha K didn't do that. But that's quote unquote somebody from Tasha's team. Every phone call Tasha K is supposed to be made aware of. Because think about it. Why would somebody just randomly call Kevin Hart to tell him, if you don't want this published, then you need to come up off some money? Nobody has the right to do that. Nobody has the right to say anything like that without it being signed off by Tasha K herself. Now again, I don't know, but they said it was a guy, so it couldn't have been Chelsea. I just remember they said that it was a guy who called. So who could it be? Who could it be? I know one thing. 2023 is going out with a motherfucking bang. Do you hear me? Because everybody is being exposed. Everybody is trying to do a fucking money grab. And you know what's so fucking sad about this whole situation is that Black people cannot wait to expose one another. They can't wait to expose one another, even if it's just for a couple of pennies. Because what is $250,000 to Kevin Hart? Honestly, that's pennies to him. But the fact that you didn't go higher than $250,000, you kind of lowballing yourself, honestly. So it's just sad that us as a community, us as Black people, African American people, we are so quick and eager to rat each other out when shit ain't going right. Now, this does not include those who are dealing with actual assault cases and things of that nature. I'm specifically talking about individuals such as Maisha herself, who sat up there and was this man's personal assistant for all these years, who agreed to keep stuff confidential, don't speak on his name, all this type of stuff. And he compensated you with $90,000 within 3 years for you signing the agreement. And you just went ahead and just decided that you just wanted to go ahead and just spill all the fucking beans as if he done something terrible to you. Like, I can see if he put his hands on you. I can see if he assaulted you. I can see if he did some of those things. But this literally just seems like you just want your 15 minutes of fame. And low key, you kind of barking up the wrong tree doing it. This might not end well for baby girl Maisha. It definitely might not end well for her. But as far as for Tasha K, it just really comes off as if she just really don't give a fuck. Because whether this girl actually did find a loophole in the non-disclosure agreement, as someone who just came off of a fucking trial and lost, yeah, these type of interviews that got NDAs attached to them, y'all can miss me with these interviews. I don't want these interviews. I don't want these interviews. Because that shit'll get you in trouble. So just when I thought that I was really coming around to Tasha, really listening to her, interviews and stuff like that, and then she go and she do something like this, it really makes you look like a snake, Tasha, and you probably don't care. You probably don't care. And it's just like the last live or whatever that I seen of you, Tasha, you was crying your eyes out, bawling, boo hoo hoo, about stuff going on in your life. And then you talked about how you couldn't be a stand-up woman and show your daughter this and that. But here it is. It's kind of like you fucking backsliding. Like, so you did all that crying for nothing. It was all fake. That clearly, you fooled me. You fooled me. That was all fake. That was for you to gain some sympathy and try to get Cardi B to get up off your ass. That's how I see it. Now, I'm not going to deny, you know how to get the interviews, Tasha. You do. And you know how to keep people entertained. But this right here, I don't know, Tasha. Because it seemed like you have no discernment. You don't have that feeling in your body when something don't fucking sound right, or I don't want to be bothered with this because I don't want to take my family through the same bullshit that I just got out of. So y'all, this is about to be a very interesting 2024. Because 2023 is the year of exposure. And 2024 is going to be the solutions of all the exposures. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what the hell is gonna happen. Okay? And if Tasha K really don't know who made that phone call, she might want to find out her motherfucking self. Because why are you calling somebody on behalf of me and my company? Yeah. This is why I say she know who made that phone call. She know who made that phone call. And also, let's talk about the cease and desist just real quick. We all know what she did with Cardi B's cease and desist. She ain't getting out 1 or 2. She got like 3 cease and desist from Cardi B. And you know what she said about that cease and desist? She can wipe her ass with that cease and desist. See, now you're being disrespectful to the courts. Not just Cardi, not just the attorneys. You're being disrespectful to the courts. You're being disrespectful to the laws. Now here it is. You got another cease and desist. And you're pretty much saying fuck that cease and desist too. Like, me personally, if I was Tasha K, I wouldn't have put that out. I wouldn't have published it. I wouldn't have put it out there. Because once they sent me a cease and desist, I would have put a pause on everything pertaining to this woman and this interview. But again, it seemed like Tasha K don't give a fuck. And maybe Tasha K did do her due diligence and her research. And maybe she did. Her attorney said, oh yeah, there is a loophole that you can maneuver in blase speak. But I don't see how you can find a loophole when you're talking about somebody's personal business in detail. That's not criminal. That's not something that the public needs to know. Even though we know about some of the stuff already. That's not your business to tell about his infidelities. That's not your business to tell. We really didn't care about that. We really didn't care about that. So I don't understand what Maisha's motive is. What is her gripe with Kevin Hart? That's the question. What is her gripe with Kevin Hart? Do she feel like he owed her money? Maybe that's $250,000. I don't know. If that's the case, you could have went back and renegotiated that non-disclosure agreement. You probably would have got another $90,000, maybe even more. Who knows? But you didn't even go to Kevin to even rectify whatever the situation or issue was. You went straight to fucking Tasha K to expose this man. And I ain't gonna lie, I hope you lose in court. I hope you lose in court. Now, here is another thing that could be, considered a loophole. Because I did, look at the complaint, right? And the confidential agreement signature is totally different from the NDA signature. Reason being is because the confidential agreement, if I'm not mistaken, was sent to her through DocuSign, which is sent electronically, and she can sign electronically. We know electronic signatures is not going to be the exact way as if it was a handwritten signature. Now, she could say that that's not her signature, but if she know Kevin Hart's team to be as efficient as they are, if they sent it to an email address that you confirmed, ain't shit you can say about the signature not being yours. So it seems like they got all their legal documents in a row. What type of legal documents do you have, Maisha, that can be held up in court and protect you? Because honestly, it's all hearsay coming from you unless you have factual proof of everything that has taken place. So I don't know, y'all. This is about to be a big ass bombshell for the year 2024. Like 2024 ain't even got here, and we starting off heavy, baby. We are starting off heavy. But like I said, the real question is, what is her gripe with Kevin Hart? Why is she doing this? That's the main question. And once we figure out the main question, then everything else will make sense. I don't believe her saying it's time for the people to know about the extortion or whatever the case may be. I don't, because we kind of already knew that though. We already knew that he had to go to court and all this stuff. And she even said it in the video. The charges was dropped from old boy, his friend, Kevin Hart's friend, but the charges wasn't dropped for Kevin Hart. Well, if they wasn't dropped from Kevin Hart, why he ain't in jail? So I don't know. All I know is I'm going to be keeping my ear to the fucking social media streets, because I really want to see the outcome of this. I really, really do. But y'all, I am about to end this right here. I don't want this to be no more than 50 minutes. It's almost at 50 minutes. So I'm going to end this here. But like always, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on any one of these stories. Do you think Christian Keys is going to actually say the name come next year? Do you think Halle Bailey actually did give birth? And do you think it's a girl or boy? And for Tasha K and Kevin Hart, do you think that Tasha should be a part of the lawsuit? And what do you think the outcome is going to be? Okay, you guys, I'm going to leave it right here. You take care. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. And I will chat up with you guys on the next episode. Bye.